I have Cars 3, which is the third film in the Disney Pixar Cars franchise. And for a second, can we talk about how cool it is that these films are all made in the Bay Area? Shout out to Pixar over in Emeryville.
Oh.
Owen Wilson is back as Lightning McQueen. Larry the Cable Guy is back as Tow Mater. We have a bunch of newcomers to the franchise. Cristela Alonzo, Kerry Washington, Nathan Fillion, Armie Hammer. And I'm going to be honest, even though this is the third Cars film, for better or worse, you don't need to remember a ton from the first two. In fact, most of this is drawing from the first Cars film. We're kind of ignoring the fact that Cars 2 happened, which is fine. That's their prerogative. I don't think it hurts. I don't think it helps. Plot-wise, the whole plot of Cars 2 took place in Europe, and it didn't really affect, and the whole plot of Cars 1 takes place in Radiator Springs, which is a sweet little town in car America.
Yeah.
So they really go back to their hometown roots with this, and the second one was more of an adventure caper one. This one's more back to like the racing roots. So it was nice. I think they found their kind of sweet spot again with that. It's all about a new generation of millennial cars who rely on technology coming in, and they're sweeping out the previous generation of racers. And look, there are some people who will just always hate Cars movies. It's just how it is. I don't quite understand it. I don't get it because it's not like it's taking anything away from them by Pixar making these movies. And children love Cars movies, and some adults, like lots of adults love them. Why are you be upset about this thing that makes people happy? Like, what's wrong with you Grinches out there? So I don't get why. And I was going to say, like, for goodness sakes, get over it. And look, I'm not the target demographic for this movie, right? I totally understand that. I think that's totally fine, and I still enjoy the movie. I'm not a big NASCAR person. I know nothing about NASCAR. I know absolutely nothing. I know nothing about cars either. But it doesn't matter. It's a sweet movie about things that happen to be cars. They're characters. Also, of note, it's the only kid-friendly movie opening this weekend, and the only young kid-friendly movie opening probably for a while. So your parents, you're probably going to see this movie at some point this summer. Just enjoy it. But that's the thing. You can totally enjoy it as a parent. Like, you're not going to fall asleep during it. Yeah, so again, I see no reason to not take your kids to see this. It was funny and sweet. It definitely had heart. So we have a newcomer in Cristela who plays Cruz Ramirez, who is a car trainer who's there to teach Lightning McQueen about all the things that the young whippersnapper cars are using. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but she was so sweet in it. They tackled a lot of issues that you don't expect to see in a kids movie like this, right? Like yes, I know they are cars, but I'm going to talk about them like they're people for a second. There's a lot of stuff about like the glass ceiling. Like there's a bunch of female characters in this, which is so awesome, right? Cars 2 did have a super spy female character in it, which is awesome. So I like to see that Cars is continuing to bring female characters into their kind of world. So there's her. Kerry Washington is in it as basically like a Tesla. She's like a super analytical like race car analyst, which is bizarre, but it really works. I like Cristela or Cruz Ramirez, and there was stuff about like the glass ceiling. Even though I don't think Cars have race, there were still hints of like dealing with like old school race issues, but it was all done in a really tactful way. And again, not expecting to see this in a children's movie, essentially. Right. So I thought it was really all well handled. It wasn't beat you over the head, which I think it's very easy to do in this, where they'd be like, we have a message. And like, no, it's just, it happens to be part of the story. It'd be as if it was in our universe. I don't think I'm going to convince anyone who has already made up their mind not to see the film to see the film. And I understand that. And I think they understand that. So but I have to say, it's my favorite of the Cars movies, like by far. I thought it was really sweet. I think actually not getting too much into the backstory definitely helped move it along, right? We dive right in. He's a race car. We get it. We go into the racing world. And I think if you're a parent, it's definitely a cut above the rest of what you're going to probably see this summer in terms of children's oriented movies. So I'm going to give it 3.6 out of 5. Okay.